Did you just attempt Mirror Dungeon Extreme and got your ass kicked and looked up a guide? And here you are. Mirror Dungeon Extreme, if I'm being honest, is a pretty difficult mode to tackle if you don't know what you're doing. But that's why I'm here to make it easy for you. First things first, it really varies depending on how you're gonna tackle the Mirror Dungeon, because there's currently like two ways. You either go solo or you'd go in with a team. Don't worry, I'll cover both. So, first things first, you gotta understand, Mirror Dungeon Extreme really amps up how much the enemies will roll. So, even a normal enemy from like Canto 1 will outroll you if you're not careful or if you don't manage your build. So, how do you avoid it? There's two ways of dealing with it: buffing your sinners and debuffing the enemies. There's various gifts that give you offense level, attack power up, flash power, and coin power. Meanwhile, there also exist gifts that lower those stats for the enemies. So, some good examples would be the cigarette holder and the melted eyeball.
Think fast, chuckle nuts!
Doing the Mirror Dungeon solo, in my personal opinion, was much easier to do than with a full team, unless you're doing it with a multi-status team. You mostly want to do Mirror Dungeon with an ID that either has a Gloom skill in their kit, but it cannot be their defense skill, or it has to be a skill which will hit more than one enemy, so more than one attack weight. There's a reason for this. It is because of one thing: sustainability. This is made extremely easy thanks to one gift, the Grey Coat. So if you don't know what it does, it basically heals you for a percentage damage you deal if the skill was Gloom or it had more than one attack weight. For example, a good example would be Index Dawn. Also, IDs with mono damage types, like all skill 3s being either slash, blunt, or pierce, does make it easier to get gifts for them. Going hybrid is also not a bad idea, depending on the identity. But if you want to make it easy for yourself, it's easier to go for like a mono damage type. Before you go into the Mirror Dungeon, make sure the Infinity Mode button is on. Otherwise, your run will like abruptly end at floor 5, leaving you confused. It has happened to me more than once, so make sure you do that. After you're done with that, go ahead and select all the buffs. Select all buffs with double upgrades. It is pretty essential to making the run easier. If you're pulled for the new IDs or done some Starlight farming or just Mirror Dungeon in general, you should have plenty for this. I think to start a run, minimum I would say have like 1,000 Starlight. Don't worry, if you do it correctly, you'll get it all back, plus a little bonus. So now you selected the buffs, it's time for the starting gifts. Over here, you don't want to pick the status gifts. You want to go for the damage type. So don't go for the ego gifts that affect statuses, as in like burn, bleed, rupture, sinking, poise, etc. Go for the damage types, like the blunt, slash, or pierce. So if you have selected all the gifts, it will you should be able to take all 3 gifts from the section. After you've done this, make sure before you continue on, enable the ego gift search function. And over here, what you can do is you can take 3 extra gifts to start your run at the cost of Starlight. Now this is important, but if you're going solo, take Ashen Constellation, Manor Shaped Music Box, and Haunted Shoes. Ashen Constellation reduces the damage you take. It's basically damage reduction gift. Music Box, so you won't get staggered It will remove the first time. It will remove the stagger first time you get staggered. And haunted shoes, so you can make hoarfrost footprint at floor 2. These gifts should help you make short work of the early floors until you get better gifts. So keep that in mind when you're selecting the gifts. Alright, I would like to have the 6 packs of Fallen. So, for floor 1, you want to go the Unloving for Frozen Cries. It is guaranteed through the pack rewards, so make sure you take it. Floor 2, you want to go for Hell's Kitchen for the Tango Sauce and Contaminated Needle. Tango Sauce is keywordless, so either get it through the events or refresh in the shop. Contaminated Needle is bleed, so you can keyword search it in the shop. Floor 3, Full Stop. Full Stop by a Bullet. For Dark Flame Smoking Pipe. It is a Pierce gift, so you can either get it through the pack rewards or you can keyword search it in the shop. Floor 4, Line 2 for Bridal. Here it's keywordless, so either refresh in the shop until you get it or guarantee it through the pack rewards. Floor 5, you can just go for anything, just refresh until you see a pack you want to do, or go for a gift that your ID can use. Floor 6 is going to be Warp Express for the Crystallized Blood and the Charge gifts. There's 2 charge gifts you can get. Crystallized Blood is Bleed, and the other one is Charge, so you can keyword search them. Floor 7, Time Killing Time Bogak for the Time Badge. It is keywordless, so make sure to get it. It is a pretty good gift. It's basically like a second life for your run. So make sure you get it. It is keywordless, so either refresh or guarantee it through the pack rewards. Floor 8. Also anything you can like go for any pack that's not on the list. Floor 9. Miracle in District 20 for the Jolly Plushie. To craft the Jolly Plushie, you need Sad Plushie, which is keywordless. That's the thing you're going to be looking for. And Pom Pom Hat and Huge Sack Gift. Pom Pom Hat and Huge Sack Gift are poise, so you can get them in the shop through the keyword search. Floor 10 is going to be line 1 for the Karma and Snake Slow. These are also keywordless, so get them through the pack rewards or the shop refresh. Floor 11 is going to be line 3 Mirror Clock Orange Road, not the terminus. You're going to be looking for Unhatched Ember. It is burn keyword, so you can search for it in the shop if it didn't appear in the pack rewards. Floor 12 is going to be for Code Purple. You're gonna complete the pack, and then when you complete the pack, you get the K-Corp ampules. Floor 13, E-Floors Greenery. Floor 14, SEACR. It's the crabs from the Intervalo before Canto 5. And floor 15 is going to be Bridal of Infinity. Now remember, each pack can only be entered once, and once you complete it, you cannot do it again. Even if you when you try and search for it, it won't appear. Most e-gifts I suggested are like pack specific, so they do not appear in other packs. Remember that, and one more thing. If you mess up the order, just continue and follow the rest of the suggested list. These are just my personal choices for doing the extreme run. Also, if you run into any hidden nodes before floor 13, take it. After 13, don't. This can work out in your favor because if you beat the hidden nodes, you do get a pretty good ego gift which will help you for the rest of the runs, and sometimes can even trivialize the rest of the floors. For gifts, I will mainly say just read and take whatever your ID's keyword is. So if your ID is gonna be burn, just take all the burn gifts you can use. Also, one thing to note is sometimes there can be gifts that your ID does not resonate with. You can, in theory, take pinpoint logic circuit and you will be able to inflict burn because that eco gift procs with both burn IDs and envy affinity skills. So yeah, with that out of the way, here's a list of general gifts you can use in combination. Also, quick tip, most gifts that can be fused require 5 or more units with the matching keywords on field to proc its effect. So before you go ahead and craft any of the ego gifts, make sure you look it up on the wiki. Alright, for burn, fiery down if you have the lust sin affinity, pinpoint logic circuit if you have the envy sin affinity. Otherwise, you can take dust to dust and charred disc. For bleed, you can take a contaminated needle, little and to be naughty plushie, layered bandages, contain maggots if you have the gluttony sin affinity, and red stained gossypium. For tremor, Nixie divergence, blood, sweat, and tears, oscillating bracelet, reverberation, faded watch case, etched clock hands, silver clock hands, black iron barding, melted eyeball, bell of truth, biovenom vial, and downpour. For rupture, talisman bundle, crown of roses, broken revolver, bone stake, barbed lasso, fluorescent lamp, standard duty battery, strange glyph inscriptions, thrill. For sinking, thorny path, for the lust and gloom resonance, if you have those skills in your ID, cantabile, melted spring, faded overcoat, midwinter nightmare, the unchosen, broken compass, rest, sword sharpened with tears, blue star shard, and artistic sense. For poise, pendant of nostalgia, ornamental horseshoe, devil's share, elytra, cigarette holders, nebulizer, old wooden doll, angel's cut, gear shrapnel, four-leaf clover, pinfogality, clean mirror, calm water. For charge, curriculum vitae, wrist guards, UPS systems, portable battery socket, bioregenerative battery, cardiovascular reactive module, lightning rod, and charge type gloves. For damage types, take the memory fragments for the respective damage type of your sinner, and all the gifts of the damage type if usable, and tier 4 gifts as well. Meaning, for blunt, you want to get crushed memory and book of vengeance. For pierce, it's punctured memory and dueling manual. Slash, it's going to be sundered memory and broken greatsword. Although broken greatsword can be taken even if your ID does not have slash skills, it will still give you the defense level up on getting hit, and you're gonna get hit a lot in the later floors. Keyword list. There's too many to list, but the general rule is just read the effects. I know I'm asking too much of you guys, but take everything that is usable by your ID and don't ignore ego generating gifts and economy gifts. It will help you a lot with your cost management. There are cursed gifts that become usable after a certain number of encounters, but before the curse is removed, they apply debuffs on you. So be careful, because there is a gift that makes you one of your random sinners stagger. And if you're doing a solo, it's gonna make your sinner be staggered always. Manner box isn't gonna help you. So now that we have established what we're gonna do inside the dungeon, let's take a look at like what support skills you take. The section is kind of dependent on what IDs you have. Trust me, you don't need to have the other IDs in order to do it. You can do it with just the base IDs, like the support passives of just the base IDs. You can do it with just them. But here are some generally good ones. For Hong Lu, it's going to be Ting Tang Gang Leader Hong Lu. Rodian, best bet is your base Rodian. For Merceau, it's the same, base Merceau. Sinclair, Zwei Association. West Sinclair, not the South one. Base Ishmael. N-Corp Kleinhammer Heathcliff. RB Chef Ryoshu or Drifting Blade. G-Corp Gregor. Bottom Ego Regret Faust, or just go with the base one if you don't have her. For Dawn, she probably has like the most versatile amount of passives which like cannot be applied. Like there is no support passive that will like help out every single ID. You have to go through your IDs that you have and then just look at what will help you. Same case with Yisang. Just read and take what you need. These two, I swear, have like the most versatile amount of support passives, depending on the identity. For Otis, I will suggest three of them: G Corp Head Manager, Blade Lineage, and Base Otis. As I said, these are generally good and they don't require resonance, just own resources. So just see what you have again and read their passive so you can make a team of support passives that will help you with your run with your selected ID.
You gave me the wrong ID! I am myself!
For doing Mirror Dungeon with a team, I do not have that much experience beating extreme mode with an entire team. I am still doing solos because it is easier for me to do. But I have gone, the highest I went up was like floor 13. So take take my advice with a grain of salt. But for doing the Mirror Dungeon Extreme with a team, I will suggest like running a hybrid team. For example, like Poise Sinking or Burn Tremor, because those are like the most infamous teams. Now, as to why I said these two, it's because they can take advantage of multiple crafted tier 4 gifts. Remember when I said the tier 4 gifts that affect only matching keywords? Yeah, this is the reason why. For example, a Burn Tremor team, right? If you have 3 Thumb IDs on the field, you can have 2 Tremor IDs, 2 Burn IDs, and the extra slot is still free, which you can fill with whatever you need. Same case with the Sinking Poise. If you have the 3 Index IDs, you can fill the rest with like 2 Poise IDs, 2 Sinking IDs, and the extra slot with whatever you need. Rest of the advice is gonna be pretty similar to what I already said, except for the starting gifts, where you will take the status starting gifts, not the damage types, but the status. And in the gift section, you will take either some pack specific gifts or economy gifts that will help you with cost management. Everything else, just follow what I said. So yeah, that's all for this guide video. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll try and answer them the best I can. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and thank you for watching.